Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Penguino, and we're still playing more Asagao Academy. We've made it to the library, where we're going to rent a history book, of all things. I mean, you gotta learn, right? You're at school, you gotta have your textbooks. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. How do you hold the map upside down? I feel like that should be the first thing you do, is orient yourself with your map and plow out your course. Maybe that's just me. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes. That is not the ceiling. That is not the ceiling! Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. A recognizably green and gray jacket was bent behind the counter. Normal boots? I briefly considered running away.
Hey.
Can I help you? Too late. Yeah, the school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here. Which one is it? The History 309 textbook. So this is Satchbag. His YouTube channel hasn't had a lot of activity. I'm not sure what he's doing specifically nowadays. I'm sure he's doing stuff still with video games and making videos, but I don't know specifically where it is. But on the Normal Boots website, he hasn't had a lot since last year at some point, talking about Star Fox was, I think, the last thing was posted, because Normal Boots has their own website because they're like official and shit. The channel and the videos that Satch makes are more focused on analysis of games and gaming and them as a medium, and as opposed to reviewing, which was a lot of other things do, or making like comedy videos, which is what a lot of other Normal Boots people do. It's very much analysis focused, which is super cool because that's the kind of stuff that I like to think about while playing games. It's the stuff that I try to think about. It's the stuff that before I started this channel, I had a lot of trouble thinking about, and that's kind of why I started the channel. So I feel a real kinship here, which is nice for the fact that I'm actually pursuing him. Literally. He stepped from the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough. I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John. Satch. Huh? Oh, you work here? Of course you worked here. He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. It's weird doing a guy voice again after doing Mai and Hana for so long, for like 20 minutes. Your book's right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? I pulled out a book with powder-wigged man I saw earlier. Thanks! He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything. No, thanks.
Copacetic.
Copacetic. You're welcome. As we headed through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped in a soft, warm blanket. Oh. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him. Oh, teddy bear syndrome. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted. God damn it, my nose! Eh? Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The students snickered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up with nothing. My hands started to shake. I hid behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself. Why did you do that? What do you mean? We were just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? I faltered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was. No, sorry. One of the boys held out his hand for the paper. I inched closer to give it to him, angry at myself for being so compliant. I wish I were. A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response, but geez, we're sorry. We'll be careful, more careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks, I appreciate it. He gave them a wide smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely behind, my legs weak. Don't tell me they stopped because of him, simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard I knew my voice would shake. He reached the front counter and scanned the history book. Why does my nose itch whenever I talk? My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read? Oh, fiction? Good, Joyce. He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley if you don't mind me saying so. He reached out to the counter and pulled out a thick green book and passed it to me. A man in black stood in the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed. I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head. Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I got your name. My name's Hana Mizuno. I'm a transfer student. That's not her voice. Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know how you like the book. I will. That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing, like being doused in the midst of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot, I left the library, 2 surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bag, eager to start with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes, she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took bait. Is something wrong, Mai? She let out another dreary sigh. I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know you like him? Mai whirled around in a faint shock. What? I don't like Jared? Oh. I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along. Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No, I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering it like it had never crossed her mind. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Satisfied, I picked my book back up. This is so great! I just finished playing Ceasing to Be Her Demise, and I missed texting that all the time just from like double clicking while looking up at the words, and now I can just do this. It's perfect. Okay. Excuse me. Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hana?
What?
Huh? Wait, me? No, never. Really? Never? Never. Never. There we go. That was the right tone. I bet you 10,000 yen that you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. Isn't like $100? You're crazy. I buried my face in my book, barring Mai from any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year? Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet. I woke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. Mai, already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. Was already up, right, babe? Yep. The first day of school.
Hana!
She's humming the theme song, I think. Da, 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 da. Something like that. That's nice little detail there. Hana, you're finally awake! Her voice sliced through the air like a knife and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Something always happens on the first day of school, especially someone like you. She winked.
What?
Someone like me.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. You know what I mean. She smiled and started messing with the papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my head and changed into the uniform. Oh! What is it? You look so cute!
Really?
Really? He creeped up my neck.
Yeah!
Crept?
Yeah! Yep. Yeah!
Yes, completely! Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. Thank you. Water stung them. How come she doesn't wear a jacket? I thought the jacket was part of the uniform. I thought she had to. Water stung the back of my eyes and I turned to start packing my backpack. How was I getting worked out about something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought. It's because you hate your hair! It's because every comment about your hair has been negative, even the ones from you! Even the ones that have actually been positive, you've read as negative. So it's the first time you're actually like, My hair looks nice today. That would be lovely. Anyway, moving on. Why was I getting so worked up? Blah, 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 blah. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. What an oddly menacing laugh. Thud. I felt all the air left my lungs as something like a horse hooves slammed against my back. That's kind of like Link landing from like a really high fall. How does it? I'm just gonna get a clip of Link landing and play that right now. That's the sound effect I imagined for this. I just can't make it. I haven't heard it in months. Wait, years? Months. Months. You'll do just fine. Don't worry. This is gonna be awesome. I stiffly peered over my shoulder. That was you?
What?
Huh? Huh? Maya stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip out my bag when I spotted the book Satch gave me lying on my nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He said if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it would be smart to bring it along just in case I had something to talk to between class periods. Something to do, not someone to talk to. What I needed for my first day of class, take it with you. Where everything we need to know what happens in the book, so the next time we talk to Satch, we have a topic of conversation. That's how socializing works. I put it in my already overfull bag, biting my lip. It never hurt to be prepared, right? You ready? You ready? Yeah, let's go. I don't know how to do laughter. Stick with me and you'll be fine. Stick with me and you'll be fine. There we go. I opened the... Stick with me and you'll be fine. There we go, I like that one. I'm just gonna repeat all of the lines until I get it exactly the way I want it. Maya opened the door together and we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. Oh, hi Maya, I didn't know we lived on the same floor. No way, that's so awesome. Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and... The river of girls shifted as we headed down the stairs. Suddenly I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know.
What a jerk.
Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Maya's exclamation faded into the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no, what would I do if we got separated? Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for Maya, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell everyone apart. Being so short really didn't help sense the situation. As we turned the last corner down the stairwell, I saw a flash of red hair a little ways in front of me. Mai? I reached between the two girls and tapped her on the shoulder. Huh? Oh, who are you? The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shot through them. What? Why is she so mean? I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. She said nothing and turned away. Before I knew it, I stood outside Primrose House, watching the flow of girls disperse across campus. Maya was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear the chirpy voices. Hear her chirpy voice? Something like that? Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But I didn't even know where the building was. I reached in my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom, 206 Poppy Hall? Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late to the first day of class. As a third year where no one knew me, all of the people staring. Hey, are you okay? You look a little lost. Someone called out to me and I turned around, almost jumping for joy. When I froze, a Normal Boots jacket. He was part of the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. This was a Normal Boots Club member. I had to make a good impression. He was one of the founders, right? And this must be Jontron. I'm thinking back to the last episode when Maya was introducing them. I don't think she called him Jontron. I think she just called him John. But this is Jontron. He does a lot of reviews of like older games. More recently, he's been doing like weird early 90s movies too. They're all hilarious. And recently the production value has been like through the roof. He's one of the people that started like 5 years ago and did YouTube videos on his couch with like a camcorder and then edited them and put them on YouTube talking about really old games. I don't think he's done anything later, like more recent than GameCube games. But if you want to go check it out, a lot of fun stuff there. And he was also one of the original members of Game Grumps, so a lot of people know him from that too. Jontron. Yes, I'm new. I don't know where Poppy Hall is. You a freshman? No problem. My class is Poppy Hall. I'll walk you there.
Really?
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Was this really happening? He began walking toward a large brick building in an enthusiastic manner, pumping his arms up and down like he was in some kind of show tune. I fell into step beside him. That's a reference to like his theme song. He does like this over-exaggerated walk where he keys himself out in his theme song. Anyway, we did that already. I didn't notice it when Mai pointed him out to me yesterday, but JonTron had big brown eyes and a warm-looking face. He was basically a human puppy. I glanced up at him out of the corner of my eye. Ah! A bird! A bird on his shoulder! Birds always made me feel uncomfortable. Something about the ease at which they could poke out someone's eyes. There's been a bird attacking me at work. I think it's calmed down recently, but there was a lull in its attacks earlier this year too. So we'll see. I think it's just that like, they have a nest nearby. I think I mentioned it before. Hey, is something wrong? Why'd you stop? No, nothing's wrong. Oh, I'm gonna put it here, the eye, wherever it is. I can't see my face right now. But in the corner of this video is a link to he did a video on the game Titanic, and it was this like horrible hack of that was someone made a Titanic game, and there was a remix of it. I'm linking to the remix because it's fantastic, and it gets so stuck in my head. It's perfect. Yes.
Hey.
Oh, this is Jacques. Isn't he cute? Nice to meet you. It spoke? Yeah. He put his hand on his shoulder. Jacques jumped into his palm. Jacques is a robot bird. See? Hello. Jacques' eyes gleamed dangerous red when he spoke, but nothing else suggested he wasn't a normal bird. In fact, if I had known better, I would have said the red in his eyes was painted on. That's amazing. Jacques twisted his head to the side, examining me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at? What? Nothing, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Jacques can be a little sassy. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy one. I don't forget to feed you. Jacques, that was one time. I was alone and starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world. Loveless, afraid. Ignore him. I've been bringing him with me to the drama club and he's taken to it a little too well. I see how this is. Shut me out like I have nothing to add to the conversation. Jacques retook his place on John's shoulder, this time facing away from us as if miffed. We resumed our walk towards Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. Hana, nice to meet you. Hana? That's a cute name. Oh, thank you. So how long have you had Jacques? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Yeah, well, I love him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. Seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? We arrived at the brick building, a white sign surrounded by poppies declaring it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall. Which room are you in? Room 206.
Really?
Seriously? Yes? That's my homeroom. We're in the same class. John laughed and clapped me on the shoulder. That was not supposed to be his voice. Wonderful! Wonderful. I guess we'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Together we entered Poppy Hall. Poppy Hall was lined with fluorescent lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around the hallway indicated we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it into the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come yet. Instead, students clumped into tight pods, milled around the classroom. Catching up on vacation news.
John.
Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
See you later.
No problem. I'll see you around. He waved and disappeared into the wriggling mass of students. I glanced around the room looking for an empty seat. Hana! Mai peeled herself from between a cuddling couple. Was that JonTron? Were you just talking to JonTron? Yeah. Bleh. Mai's eyes widened and I couldn't help feeling a little smug. I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me. Mai emitted a highly pressurized squeal. JonTron walked you to class? Oh my gosh, you have to tell me everything. She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me into an empty desk back in the corner of the room, right next to the window. I saved you a seat. I slid in and took off my backpack, hooking it to the side of my desk. I was a little bit worried about the books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well. Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So tell me, what happened? What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Was it rough? He has a freaking goatee. Peach fuzz, what? Wait, what? These are very important questions I'm asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky or did it have the roughness of a dog's coat? What was I watching recently where I was watching, I'm gonna end the episode here before we get into the classroom situation. I was watching Critical Role recently, the last episode with, they ran into a satyr and the druid character, low charisma character, and they acted out too. They ran into a satyr and the druid was just so obsessed with how the fur felt. Just like, is it like soft or is it like really coarse? Is it like a bear or is it like soft hair? And it's like, is this a thing? Is this like super important? I assume it is. I mean, it's important to me, so I assume it's important to everyone else. But comparing it like specifically silky or rough doesn't come to mind. I would either describe it as good or bad, but I'm a judgmental asshole. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check you guys in the next video where we talk more about school and class, and we meet one more of the Normal Boots Club, perhaps a couple more. We'll see how in-depth we get with the characters. Thank you so much for watching. I'll check you guys in the next video.